Recording. Okay, so anybody that has missed or is jumping on the recording, this is for all of you. So, hi. Who wants to say hello first? Who wants to introduce themselves? Any takers? Miranda, I'm going to put you on the spot.
All right. Hi, I'm Miranda. I live in Illinois. Sarah and I work together, kind of, sort of, in the same district. I teach first grade. I have 2 boys that are crazy. So that's me.
Welcome.
Thanks.
Did you start with a challenge group and then?
I did.
Okay.
Yes.
How long have you been in a challenge group and then coaching?
I started the first challenge group in May, and then Sarah had me kind of jump on and co-coach or whatever for this one.
Nice.
So just 2 groups.
Okay. How do you feel getting in a groove so far? Trying to.
I like the group. I'm not 100% on selling myself, and because I'm not usually like that. So I like being there and helping support and stuff. So I don't know. I'm going to take it slow. So.
Perfect. I actually was just talking, my husband and I were just sitting out here before this call started, and we were talking about, I was just telling him about what I talk about on my Getting Started Right calls and with new coaches and new training material and stuff like that. And he's been in sales for the last 7 years, and he did insurance and investments previously when we lived in Colorado, and then he hated it. And is now in medical device sales and sells in the robotics division. And he's very opposite of me. He would much rather just sell for the income and not have to talk to people or build a relationship. And I'm I love everybody, let me just be everybody's friend and talk to everybody. And, so tonight we were talking about, what we talk about on the call. And he said one thing that he loves about Beachbody is that it's not a sales focused business model, that it's people focused. And he's he loves fitness. He loves nutrition. He would love to do this, but he doesn't like the people aspect of it. If that's, but he said, what's so great about it is that you're not selling something, that you're just talking to people and that people are buying something. So, there's no obligation to sell per se as a coach. Yes, we have, products, quote unquote, that, people can purchase. But people can also purchase those products on Amazon or whatever. It's just the ability to help other people reach their goals and give them the opportunity to use the tools that we have to help them along the way and just share our story. So I kind of like that he was talking about that, because when I first started, I don't know anything about sales. I don't know anything about marketing or social media. I'm high strung and I have anxiety, and I'm I don't know how to do any of this stuff. So it was so nice that it's more just focused on talking to people and just sharing what you do, as opposed to this is on sale this month and buy one, get one free, stuff like that. That I feel, and you guys know it. I mean, our social medias are loaded with people posting about buy one, get one, stuff like that, and trying to sell. And I'm not going to lie, that can tend to get a little bit annoying. But the inspiration and motivation that we can provide for other people as coaches, I think just really helps connect people to being able to have something that they can use to reach their goals. So I think when you think of it with that kind of a mindset, it really just helps kind of shift, from that sales kind of perspective. So I wanted to touch on that before we started. Audrey, I know you got like kids and stuff going on. You don't have to introduce yourself if you don't want to.
Yeah, I'm gonna have to go. This kid is asking for bed and losing his mind. So
we'll be on here for a little bit. So if you want to jump back on, you can. If not, don't worry.
All right.
All right.
Bye. Bye.
So a couple things that I just wanted to touch on first is, our new coach checklist is very important to work through. The first 30 program that corporate sends out is very important to work through. And then just daily habits. So we have trackers that we can use if you're somebody that tracks your business. And I'm not just talking to you, Miranda. I'm talking to anybody that's listening to the recording.
Yeah.
But I have various trackers that you can use, and I'm gonna just tell you guys, I am the worst when it comes to like trying to manipulate and use a tracking system, because I have like a little bit of ADD and difficulty focusing on the task at hand. And I just know that I've got to try to keep track of who I'm talking to, because chances are, if I don't follow up with that person, if they tell me like, listen, I can't do it right now, but hit me up in August, and I don't write that down, or I just rely on Facebook Messenger to, what, am I going to go back and scroll through my messages and see who I was talking to? Then chances are they're going to sign up with somebody else because I forgot, and somebody else is going to talk to them, or they're going to see somebody else post about something, or they're just going to go to Amazon and be like, oh yeah, that Ashley chick was talking to me about these workouts. I should probably just go buy them from Amazon. And then there we go. So implementing a tracking system early on is so very important. I am a pen and paper person. I have a notebook and I just write down who I talk to. And I'm also trying to use like an Excel spreadsheet and making my own months as I go. I started doing that last month. It's working okay. I'm doing it again this month. And then I'm following up with pen and paper and vice versa. So there are online trackers that Beachbody has that have been made specific for tracking your business. But it totally is up to you on how you want to do it. But I'm going to tell you 150% relying on Facebook Messenger is like the worst way to do it, because messages get lost. You forget to follow up. You forget who you're talking to. You have 10 new messages in your inbox and you forget about that 11th, and then it's a mess. And then you're frustrated and burnt out and done. So implementing some kind of all right, this is what I need to do every day. This is how I need to do it. And kind of a checklist is probably the best way to do it. So I can share some trackers within the group, and just some things that like I've used in the past. But really, like, Sarah, do you just do pen and paper? Yeah. So
I have a small notebook that I just, every time I talk to somebody, I just jot their name down. Mm-hmm. I love your wine. I almost grabbed a glass. I just jot down their name, and then that way when I go back and like if they say, I think I want to do later on in the summer or when school starts or whatever, I just write a little note, or like a few people who are pregnant and want to start up after they've had the baby. Like I write that down.
Yep. So that's honestly like, or if you have like a monthly planner, like I know like they break it down by day, and sometimes there's like 10 lines by each day or whatever. And I try to fill up those. I've done that with a planner in the past. I try to fill up those 10 lines with new contacts or just new friends that I've added, new messages that I've sent. So this past week, we kind of did a prep week, and we're really going to dive in a little bit more this week on the basics of like what we really do as coaches and how to, go from like, okay, I just enrolled as a coach to like, all right, like let's legit get my Shakeology paid for, or, let's get to where I'm an Emerald rank and I can start earning a weekly paycheck kind of thing. So basically, first big goal for any new coaches would be to get to Success Club in your first month and rank advanced to Emerald coach. Now, what do those two things mean? Yes, I'll explain Success Club, and yes, I'll explain Emerald coaching. And I will dive into that a little bit more this week too. Success Club is when you help 3 people enroll with the Challenge Pack or Shakeology Home Direct. And that gives you 2 points. 2 points for a Challenge Pack, 2 points for Shakeology Home Direct, or performance line, home direct, as long as it's 90 PV, and that's personal volume, that equates to about $90. So as long as you do that, you're basically setting a benchmark for yourself. There is no minimum requirement. Like Beachbody doesn't have like a selling minimum that you have to make every month. You can just absolutely be a coach for the discount. But if you're going to grow your business and you're serious about it, then I always tell my new coaches, listen, like Success Club every month, do or die, like make it happen. And even if you don't hit Success Club, know that at the end of the month, I did my best to hit Success Club, even if I didn't get to it. Like you set a goal and you push towards it. I'm going to turn my light on overhead just a second, guys. We'll see how many bugs I attract. Here come the mosquitoes.
Yeah.
I thought if you drank wine, it was going to keep the bugs away. So maybe wishful thinking that works or not. So Success Club every month. I for one, initially when I started this business, I was like, whatever. Like I didn't really care enough. And so the first few months, I didn't really make that a goal. I didn't really make it a priority. Let's say the first 8 months, I didn't really make that a priority. It took me like 6 months to get to diamond or to emerald. And when you're emerald, you basically just sign up one coach on each leg. And I'll talk more about that in our training this week. But that can be like your husband and your mom. That's what I did to get myself to emerald, because I knew my husband was going to use Shakeology and I knew my mom wanted to use Shakeology. So I signed them both up as coaches, and then I got to emerald. And when you're an emerald coach, you start earning your weekly paycheck based on your team volume. Again, I'll dive into that a little bit more. All of that is in the new coach checklist and in the first 30 videos. So you're probably a little bit familiar with that already. But setting those first goals early on was something that was really important, because I knew like, and I can tell you guys from experience, like I just really slacked early on, and I didn't have a plan, and I was all over the place, and my posts reflected that. And I look back and I'm like, oh my gosh, there are so many things that I could have done differently. Like had I done X, Y, and Z, or had I actually set, a business plan for myself. And when you set a plan every month to, make a point to grow your business by just 3 new people each month, then you will continue to see those numbers grow, not just in month 1, not just in month 3, but, 6 months from now, 12 months from now. And even if your goals aren't, astronomical for this business, it's still just by talking to more people and pushing for that goal, those people are going to come back around and you're going to see your business grow 2-fold, 10-fold, and all of that as the time passes. So those conversations that we have early on where it seems like it might have gone nowhere, or, that person wasn't interested, whatever it was, you're planting a seed and you're showing somebody like, hey, I'm here to help you. They may not be ready for the help right now. They may want to sleep on it. They may want to think about it. They may not be ready until 2 years down the road. Like I just had one of my really good friends sign up just a few months ago, who every month is like, keep doing it. You're doing great, and then eventually she's like, okay, like I'm ready. And, like, it's whenever people are ready, but you can just be there to show them, hey, I'm here to help every step of the way. So obviously social media is a big part of this business. If you're not regularly posting on social media, I know it can seem overwhelming at first. Like how do, where do I start? What do I do? I don't want to just throw randomness out there that doesn't make sense. And you shouldn't. Like I always think, like, if I'm going to post something, is this benefiting anybody, or am I just posting it just to post it? And I always try to continue to add value and good content on my page, because now I'm a business owner and this is my storefront. And okay. So I just lost my train of thought. Adding valuable content to your page every day, you know, and that's why we say post, you know, multiple times a day, because there are different times that your Facebook friend list is on social media. Like, for example, people that work full time, they're not going to be on social media at like 11 a.m. because they're going to be at their job, or at least, you know, maybe they shouldn't be. People that stay at home with their kids, high traffic times on social media are like mid-morning, mid-afternoon. So that's when you're going to see a lot more moms that are, you know, kind of following you on your posts. You know, single friends, people that, you know, kind of live that party lifestyle or whatever, are going to be on like more late at night or around noon or so. So it kind of just depends on who your market is and who you're appealing to, and you know, when you want to put your high traffic posts out there. But going back to social media, when I started, I just knew that I wanted to, like, what was going to attract people to me? Just sharing change, sharing positivity, sharing, you know, little things that I was doing, sharing recipes, sharing little tips and tricks and stuff like that, that I knew would help people that were similar to me, moms that were busy, that, you know, didn't have time to work out or didn't have time to make meals, or, you know, little things like that. That's who I was appealing to. So always think about that first. Who is your target market? Who is somebody that you ideally want on your team, in your challenge group, that you would benefit most from having a relationship with? I look at my challengers and I'm like, who are people that I want to talk to regularly? You know, like, that's who I want on my team. That's who I want in my challenge groups, is people that I can connect with. And so I gear my posts more towards like women, and women who, you know, want to get in better shape, moms, wine drinkers. Like, that's, you know, I'm always posting about wine and Target. And that's, you know, Sarah, we were just joking about this on the call the other day about my target market is like people that go to Target all the time. So, so you want to think about who you want to gear your posts towards. And there's a quote that says, if you're helping everyone, or if you're trying to help everyone, you're actually helping no one. And when I first started, like, I was messaging guys I went to high school with, and I was like, dude, have you heard about Body Beast? Like, oh my God, you would totally love it. And it was like 17 guy friends unfriended me because they're like, who is this chick trying to sell me like a workout program, when like no guy wants a skinny chick to try to help them build muscle. Like, I'm not gonna lie, it wasn't gonna work for me. So, so you have to think about who you're talking to, and just, you know, what you're sharing, and your content is really important. We are not a walking billboard for Beachbody. Beachbody spends millions and billions of dollars every year on marketing, and they don't need us to do that. So we don't need to post, you know, generic stock images from the Beachbody website. Like, what works best for me are like selfies and brightly colored pictures, and you know, pictures of my kids, and like stuff that we do, and workout pictures and stuff. And when I'm talking about a workout program, I'm usually just telling a story about it and talking about a benefit, how it would help somebody. Or same thing with Shakeology. When I talk about Shakeology, early on, I would just post a picture of my shake and be like, I love this, you know, and people would be like, what the heck is that? You know, nobody would really understand it. But when you talk about the benefits of, you know, your workouts, of your Shakeology, why you're working out, why you're drinking Shakeology, that really helps people understand a little bit more. We're changing lives. We're not salesy and icky. And ultimately, just be yourself. Just, this light is like way off. Just being yourself, because it's hard to be, when you're trying to be somebody else, it's hard to continue to live up to that front that you're putting out. So ultimately, being yourself. And if you swear, like, oh well, that happens. Like, shit happens. People swear, you know, people are attracted to that. You know, it depends on who your market is. And, you know, I'm very Catholic and Christian, and I talk about my faith a lot. And I know that I've lost some followers because of that, but that's okay, because I know that those aren't the kind of people that are in my market per se. So, pitch to your niche. And a little assignment, if you want to do it, is 5 things. Look at your life and write down 5 things that define you, or make you who you are, whether it's, you know, your profession, like I'm a registered nurse. That's something that I can talk about and, you know, regularly post about, talk about, and can appeal to. 5 things that make you who you are, 5 things that you like. And those are kind of the 5 things that you should post about regularly. And ask a friend or ask your spouse to, like, you know, what are 5 things about me that you would say make me who I am? And then use those things and kind of make that your, like what you post about. Can you guys see me at all? I feel like this is really super dark. Yeah, you can? Okay.
I see you.
Okay. So another thing, like we can post all day on social media, and that's great. Like I've done tons of posts for Shift Shop and Challenge Group and stuff over the last couple weeks, and I haven't got a ton of traction. And we can post all day about, you know, come join my challenge group. Like I'm starting a new group. I have this going on. I have this. But if we're not doing the behind the scenes work, like the actual stuff that makes a difference, then we're not going to see our businesses grow. So we have to get in the trenches and we have to have conversations with people on a daily basis. And I say daily, but you know, if you're talking to a bunch of people Monday through Friday and you take the weekends off, like that's okay too. Or if you're keeping up with conversations regularly and you're meeting your goals, then yeah, like I don't always invite 20 people a day. But I might try to do a bunch on the weekend and then do less during the week. Inviting is key, and not just saying like, hey, I'm Ashley, I'm a Beachbody coach. Do you want to join my challenge group? Starting those conversations, asking people how they've been, you know, somebody that you haven't talked to in a long time, just starting a conversation. Hey, how you been? What have you been up to? How's your family? We talk about forming in our training, and forming is like a way to, it's an anagram. Is that the right word? Anagram, for family, occupation, recreation, and message. So that's where you know, when you're starting a conversation with somebody, you talk to them about their family. How's your family been? What have you guys been up to? What are you doing now for work these days? Are you working? Are you home with your kids? How's your job going? Recreation. What have you guys been up to this summer? Are you doing any traveling? What kind of trips have you taken? And then message. You know, when you're really starting to get into that conversation with that person, maybe they ask you what you do. Oh my gosh, I just actually started doing this fitness thing, and it's pretty amazing because I'm able to work from home and I'm able to help people with their fitness goals. And I get to get in shape and feel really great as a byproduct of it. Is that something that you would be interested in doing? Little conversations like that. The sale isn't on your mind yet. And again, like, I don't like to use that word sale because I feel like it's icky, but that conversation with that person should not ever revolve around like, how can I get them to buy a challenge pack? Absolutely not. Because if that's the reasoning behind your conversations, they're going to see right through that. I need to take a breath. I have a bunch of notes here. Okay. So posting, adding value, sharing little, you know, if you have any like helpful tips and stuff that have helped you along the way with your fitness journey, those are things that people would love to have more information about. I can't tell you when, you know, I've shared a recipe or I've shared a picture of something and somebody's like, dude, how did you make that? Send me the recipe, you know, little things like that. And like this morning I posted a video of using an eggshell to get like a piece of eggshell out of your eggs, like how it's like a really easy way to get an eggshell out of your eggs. And apparently that was helpful to somebody. So just little things that, you know, little tips that are helpful, like using frozen grapes as ice cubes in your wine glass to keep your wine cold. That's, you know, like silly things that, but like people would be like, oh my gosh, that's a great idea. Thanks for sharing that. So, but adding value and just being consistent and showing up. You know, if you were to purchase a like brick and mortar storefront business, say you want to open a fashion boutique and you want to appeal to people with, you know, what you have that can help them, you know, look cute or whatever. Obviously, like opening your store 1 or 2 days a week is not going to help your business grow. So that's why we talk about being consistent on social media. We run our business primarily through social media and contacts and finding more people that are interested in what we do and helping people get to their goals. And then sharing those victories within our team, within our challenge groups, within our friends and family and all of that. And then showing up, every single day. That does not mean that you have to post every single day about this is my challenge group. This is, all of that stuff, but just being here, being present. Challenge groups, we'll dive into that a little bit more in training. If you've been a part of a challenge group, if you've been in a challenge group, you know a little bit more of what to expect. Basically it's just a group of support to help other people with their health and fitness goals and sharing all kinds of everything along the way. I do a monthly calendar. If you haven't seen my July calendar, it's posted in our team page. And my calendar pretty much looks the same every single month. I usually do a free group the first week of the month, the second group, or the second week, usually the first and second weeks, I'm recruiting for my challenge group that starts the third week of the month. And then I do a coaching opportunity or talk about coaching a little bit more towards the end of the month because our new coach training always starts the first week of the following month. So keeping a consistent calendar, and that just makes it easy for you too. That way you always have a plan every month and you always know like, all right, the first 2 weeks of the month, I really need to recruit for my challenge group. And the last 2 weeks of the month, I really need to recruit for coaching. And then just kind of shifting that and continuing that all month long. I'm at a point in my business now where I'm trying to recruit for both all month long. So it's totally up to you, but that kind of gives you a good spot to where you can start. So you can go back and look at my July calendar. You can look at past calendars in our team page and just kind of see how that flow goes every month. I did talk about Success Club a little bit. Coaches that hit Success Club every month earn, I think it's 270% more than coaches that don't hit Success Club. So Beachbody rewards our coaches for just those little steps along the way too. Like this past month, Success Club prize was a live webinar with John Maxwell, who's like a really amazing leadership guru. This month, our Success Club prize for hitting Success Club is Shift Shop tank top. So that's kind of exciting to be able to share, just for helping a few people, I got this really great tank top and I didn't have to pay for it. So they do little prizes like that every month. As a brand new coach, if you hit Success Club within your first 30 days of signing up, then you get a VIP call with Carl Deichler. If you hit Success Club your first full 3 months, that doesn't have to be, if you signed up like June 20th, you don't have to do it in June, but July, August, September, if you hit Success Club in those first 3 months, then you get a free ticket to Summit. Sarah just got her free ticket to Summit yesterday, didn't you, girl? Yay. So Beachbody gives you a free ticket, and it's like a $300 value. So that's like a sweet little deal just for hitting Success Club. And then you're recognized at Summit as a Success Club All-Star or a Success Starter. So that's like, you get a cool little thing to stick on your name badge. So just the benefit is, you're not only are you getting your Shakeology paid for, and then some, but you're setting that benchmark for yourself to kind of start growing your business. I will talk a little bit more about team volume and cycle bonuses this week, and that kind of reflects on getting to Emerald and that next step, and we will talk about that too. Any questions so far?
I'm just trying to take everything in.
Okay. I know it's a lot of information,
Okay.
and I do these calls to kind of share everything. So what'd you say?
That's okay. I said I've been taking notes.
Okay. So, before we're signing up our first 2 coaches, I always recommend checking in with your upline just so you know where to place them first. So that way you don't have to worry about switching coaches or anything like that. Same thing with enrolling customers. There are some great videos within that new coach checklist and in the Beachbody training that they sent, that first 30 training on coach enrollment. I personally use the Team Beachbody Coach mobile app, and that you can actually go to just in Google and type in Team Beachbody Coach mobile app, and then at the very bottom you can save it to your home screen. So that just looks like this. And I think it's the easiest way to enroll. It's probably not going to show up because I'm outside. Yeah, so this is what your Coach mobile app looks like. And that's how you enter your email and your password. And then it'll walk you through enrollment for a new customer or a new coach. Now, if the person already has a Team Beachbody account, or if they've, maybe they bought something from beachbody.com, they've been assigned to a free coach, then you will need to have them switch. And in your coach online office, there's a coach change form. You can actually just Google coach change form and it'll pop up in your Google browser, and then you can just send them the link. And they'll need your coach ID. So make sure that you have your 6 or 7 digit coach ID and your email address, and Coach Relations will switch them over to you within 24 to 48 hours. If you have the last 4 of their credit card number or their order number, if they've previously ordered, then you can contact Coach Relations and get that expedited, so that way they can switch right away. Same thing with enrolling them as a coach. If they are already a customer, you can enroll them as a coach and you won't have to do a customer coach change form. They'll automatically be assigned to you. But you can do everything from here. You can do everything as far as their challenge pack purchase, their Shakeology flavor, all of that. It's really super simple. The other one that I like to use is the Coach Online Office, and it's Coach Mobile Online Office. And that is basically when you log into teambeachbody.com from your computer and you click on Coach Online Office, that's what this is. Let me see if I can get it to pop up. So this is your Coach Online Office. And you can also save this to your home screen. It's not an app that you're going to find in the App Store. You actually have to Google it and then save it to your home screen. But in here is really super helpful because it shows you like your status, and then it's not going to show up anymore. Okay, your business alerts, news, business tabs, events. And then what's really nice is this little support tab. Like, yes, I've had a little bit of wine and I'm doing this backwards, so we're going to see how good this works. I mean, a little bit, like that third of a glass. Well, it's going to come up. Okay, so there we go. All of your forms and documents are in there. Helpful links. This is all just, I mean, you guys can pull it up. I'm not going to do like a crappy video of this, but there's all kinds of super useful information on here. Coach 411, Coach Change, your mobile enrollment is on here as well. So this is just like one of the best ways to, on the go, do your business. Enroll new customers, do Coach Change placement, check your commissions, your earnings, all of that stuff, team cycle bonuses, check your downline, your order status, and all of that stuff. So I really recommend the Team Beachbody Coach mobile app and then your Coach Online Office. And there in the support tab under helpful links, that is where you'll also find a coach link generator, which gives you the link to, like, say somebody's like, hey, I heard about that 3-day refresh. Can I order that from you? You can send them the link to order the 3-day refresh from you. But I always talk to people first about both fitness and nutrition, regardless of why they've contacted me or, what their interest is, and just find out how I can help them. If they're struggling with nutrition, Shakeology is a no-brainer. I tell them, listen, like, you got to give it at least 30 days. Check it out, see how your body feels, take it seriously, make a commitment to your nutrition, use it as a meal, use it as a snack. Because I feel like people are like, oh, I'm not just going to drink my food. Like, I've heard that before. I've heard people say like, oh, I don't need another protein shake. We get a ton of objections about Shakeology, and that's normal. That's common, and that will happen often. But what I just try to do is educate people on the benefits and how it's not just a protein shake, how there's no soy in it, and how soy is a highly inflammatory food. So there's all these shakes that have soy in them, and people are having all these digestive problems from soy and little things like that most people don't really think about. But all of the nutritional benefits. The Shakeology podcast on iTunes is really great to listen to as well. There's about 10 episodes on there that they talk about the benefits of Shakeology, and each episode is like anywhere from 7 to 11 minutes. That is also a good resource. All right, taking another breath. Anybody have any questions or anything specific? No?
Mm-mm.
Let me just take a look at my notes real quick. So when you do start coaching, 100% of your earnings come from commissions. So basically things that people have ordered from your website, challenge packs, all of that stuff. As you continue to rank, advance, and grow and build your business, then you'll start to see that income shift. So you'll start to earn volume based on what your team is doing, which is pretty nice because it's residual income. So like, for example, my paycheck this last week was about 40% commission and 60% team volume, team cycle bonuses. And it varies anywhere from 25% commission to 75% team volume. Sometimes I have 75% commission, 25% team volume. But it all is based on what you're doing and what your team is doing. What's different about Beachbody is that we don't earn any direct income from, like, say Sarah was my personally sponsored coach. If Sarah sells 100 challenge packs this month, I'm not going to get any money in my pocket from her selling challenge packs. Like, that's not how it works. But Team Beachbody does reward their coaches for volume and team volume. So I would benefit from team volume if I'm an Emerald coach and I have my coach status is active and I'm staying consistent with my business. So in order to actively earn volume from your coaches, you have to kind of be doing something. So you have to be an active status Emerald coach or above. And I'll talk a little bit more about volume this week too. Let's see. And that's about all I have. Stay engaged, stay consistent, talk to the team, ask questions. That's what our team page is for. Ultimately, it just comes down to making a commitment and a commitment to do the work. And, what I like to think about is what's different about this business is that you can work really hard for a few years, how people don't normally work, to live for a lot of years, how people don't normally get to live. So if you're willing to put in the work and the commitment and the dedication and show up and, hit those minimum goals and push for something bigger, you can be astronomically rewarded for it as a coach. There's no cap on what you can do. There's no minimum or maximum or anything like that. It's absolutely what you can make it. So if you're like, you know what, I think I want to just do this kind of as a hobby, okay, you can. Or, you know what, I think I'm kind of over the hobby thing and I think I want to make a full-time income with this. Awesome. You can totally do that too. There's no, you're your own boss. So it's pretty great. I was very much a okay, whatever, I'll work out and stuff and drink this shake. And then I started to see results and I started to see transformations and something clicked and I was like, I love this. And I love that I can stay home with my kids. And I love that I can do, go on these trips and meet all these amazing women and have this team of incredible women who are just super strong and encouraging and supportive. And to be a part of that is just unreal. And it's I don't know, I love it. I'll get all choked up and stuff talking about it, but it's so much fun. It really is. And I don't really think that it's work, I did want to I talked a little bit about this on the call on Saturday. But my husband and I were talking a lot this week about, just about conversations and connections and how to have those early victories and stuff. And just a couple things that he said, you should probably mention this on your call, is that, early on, a lot of people that you reach out to, You might get some no's, you might get some not right nows. That doesn't always mean 100% no. It means you planted those seeds, and those conversations can continue. And unfortunately, I feel like sometimes early on, you know, there's this picture painted that I'm going to sign up as a coach and I'm going to make a ton of money and everything's going to be grand and it's going to be perfect. And that's not really the case. I'm not trying to discourage you, but it does take some work, and it does take some consistency, and it does take a little bit of thick skin, because it's not, if somebody says no, it's not because they don't like you or they don't appreciate what you do or they don't care. It's just that they're not ready. And they'll continue to watch. And like I said, one of my best friends, almost 3 years, just signed up, and it's really when it's their time. But continuing to have those conversations and knowing, like, Sarah's like, Ashley, like, thanks, but I'm just really not interested. And then 6 months from now, Sarah's been watching me the whole time, and she's like, dude, she's like killing it over there with these workouts and stuff. Like, I gotta do what she's doing. And then Sarah messages me, and she's like, all right, Ashley, like, okay, I'm ready. You know, so it does take some time in building those trustworthy relationships. But when you're consistent and you care and you show people that you care and you're not just here to, you know, make money in your pocket, people can see that and they can sense that. So early on your conversations, your clients will be people that you reach out to today, possibly, but they may not be your client until 6 months down the road, 12 months down the road. But those numbers will continue to grow if you're consistently talking to people. So if you talk to, you know, 50 people this month and 3 people sign up, that's great. But now you have 47 people next month. That's still, that bug almost just flew up my nose. Oh, of course. You'll have 47 people next month that already know about what you're doing, that may come back around. And no, I don't always follow up with those 47 people next month, but I may go back to a couple of them that were like, I don't know if I'm ready yet, and say, hey, you know, I have another group starting this month, and I know you weren't sure last month. If you're ready, hey, you know, blah, blah, blah. So, and then your third month, you have those 47 people, another 47 people. That's 94 people. Did I do that right? The third month, you know, and then those people that have already signed up. And then maybe one of your challengers is like, my sister wants to do this with us. Can she join too? And then you get a referral. Or you ask your challengers, do you have any friends that want to join you for our next challenge group? And you get a referral. Or they decide that they want to sign up as a coach, and then you start building your team. So there's all kinds of ways to grow your business. But again, it just comes down to doing it. So I won't keep you guys any longer. I know it's a Sunday, and I thank you guys for getting on. I really appreciate it. Do you have any questions or anything that I can answer as I'm getting dive bombed by bugs?
Yeah.
I don't.
No.
No. Mm-mm.
Well, I will post the recording, and we will dive in quite a bit more this week, and we'll go from there. Shift Shop launches this Thursday, so a little reminder is do some kind of a conversation about making a shift, and go to Chris Downing's page on Facebook and follow him. He just posted a killer video today about like unity, and it was really amazing. So if you don't follow him yet, follow him. The inspiration that comes out of that guy's mouth is absurd, and he is awesome. So I'm excited for this program for that very reason, because I think there are so many people that it is a mind shift, and you need a mind shift to kind of work through it. I had a girl message me today, one of my former challengers, and she's like, dude, I don't know what it is, but this program has drawn me in like a magnet. I got to do it. Like this, who is this guy? He sounds amazing. And I think he's going to change a lot of people's lives. So, and we get to be the avenue that help them get there. So anyway, you guys have a great night. Thanks for getting on, and we'll just keep rocking and rolling.
Have a good night.
All right. Bye, ladies.
Bye.
Bye.